know me from? From the Hardy Boys? Baywatch? The Hardy Boys. Yeah, that's the one, you know, just walking around and just in life. That's usually what people know. And North and South, the miniseries. Was that a big thing here in the South? Yeah. I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
What about Probe? Did you mention Probe? That was my favorite Parker Stevenson show.
You said the series Probe?
Yeah, the series Probe.
Yeah, Probe was a series on ABC that was a season. Isaac Asimov was the creator of it. It's always fluky what shows take off and what shows maybe don't. Things that I was sure were going to be huge hits disappeared. And little projects like a movie called Lifeguard I did with Sam Elliott years ago. I left school for 2 weeks to do the movie and went back, and it became this kind of small, cult, beautiful little movie. You know, all these, it's sort of an ongoing, you hang in there, you keep working, and some things pop, and some things don't. But the journey itself is what is the joy, honestly. It's not the one big hit, it's the whole course of it. And I've been doing this now for 60 years. This is my 60th year. I've been lucky. I've had breaks when I needed them, and surprises when I needed something to keep me motivated. Shows like this and talking to you all is a joy for me, because we go to a studio, we go to a sound stage, or we go on location and there's no interaction. Even when the project comes out, there's really no interaction with the audience. So this is always sweet. We had a great conversation first thing this morning. It's just been lovely. So it's really a pleasure to be here. Are you mostly from Bartow, or have you traveled? From where? From Jacksonville. Wonderful. Wow. And where are you from?
South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida. Perfect. Yeah. And you said you were from? Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about projects that I've done, or and they can be personal? I answer almost everything. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't hear you with it. Yeah, and the question was, do I still stay in contact with Sean? I'm pointing just because of the T-shirt. Both Sean and Pamela are still really good friends, and for some reason, Hasselhoff on Baywatch and Sean and Pamela have remained really good friends through all these years, and that's unusual. So many people I've worked with that I really loved working with, and I was close to for a short period of time. Life just, you move on different directions and things get away from you. You know, it happens with family members. You know, people move away, you don't see them much. But Sean I talk to regularly. My wife Lisa, who's here. wait. We went to Sean's 60th birthday party, and while we were there, we decided to elope. And Sean and his wife put together an elopement wedding for us the next day at a vineyard near where he lived. That's the kind of friends they are. That's how close I am to them. Next month he's doing his show. Yeah. Yeah, Sean's doing 40 cities. And when was the first time you saw him? 2 years ago, you said? So that's when he was first starting to do his tour. That's about, we saw him experiment in his hometown with his friends and to try to put up a show and see how it was. If you haven't seen it or heard about it, he talks about his life while he's performing and singing, and songs you know. He also talks about David, his brother's passing, and Shirley Jones, and his dad, Jack Cass, his whole arc of his career. It's a wonderful show. And Sean's really funny. Sean's got this great dry sense of humor. So, to answer your question, yes, I do stay in touch with him on a regular basis.
Can I
Anything else come to mind about any projects I've done, or how we did them, or who I hated and who I liked?
Who did you hate?
What's that?
Who did you hate?
What did he say? I couldn't hear.
Who did you hate?
Yeah, I prompted that. It's my bad.
It's all on you.
There have been a few, only a few, and not necessarily cast members. You know, you don't love everyone. You know, there's always someone that's going to irritate you. But actors are an unusual breed because to stay acting, you have to have some humility. Even though it seems like you'd have to get, very self-proud. But no, it takes humility, and that's in fact what the work calls on. To be able to connect with the person or the situation and the audience to feel that. So, for the most part, actors, as you see here, the actors at this event are sweet. They're sweet people and approachable. And it's a beautiful part of the showbiz. The business part is really challenging. It's fairly ruthless. But the show part of it, whether it's theater or movies or television, is really a wonderful, joyous way to spend your life. We're really lucky. Yeah.
Besides Sean and David Hassan, who else did you really enjoy working with? Did you work with Burt Reynolds and Stroke Race?
Yeah, she's asking about Burt Reynolds.
Was it fun working with her?
He's hysterical, as you probably know. I was at a dinner one night and someone introduced me to him. And as I bent down to go say hello, Mr. Reynolds, he said, "We're going to work together." He said, "You're not going to believe me right now, but we're going to work together." And a week later, he called me and he said, "The script's coming to you. You're not in the script. When the offer comes, just say yes. Don't question it, just say yes, and we're going to have a blast." The script was Stroke Race. Aubrey James, the character I played of this young cocky race car driver, wasn't in the script. My big famous agency said, "You can't do that movie. It's going to be a stupid movie. It's bad for you." And I said, "Well, what else do you have for me?" They had nothing. And so I said yes. And Burt basically forced Universal to cast me in that part. He wanted a young foil, and somehow saw something in me that he liked, and it was a hysterical, joyous experience. Ned Beatty's hysterical. Jim Neighbors is constantly hysterical. Lonnie and Burt having a great time in their marriage at that point, and Al Needham, the director who had done all the Smokey and the Bandit movies, and Hooper and all those. He spent as much time playing Pac-Man in the back of the prop truck as he was that director. He was that loose. And we were at all the best tracks all over the South. We were, Talladega, Atlanta. Even at the start of that, wanted to go and take a racing course. And I talked Burt into going with me up in Carmel. And we spent a week driving cars, racing cars around racetracks. That was my preparation for Stroke Race. Burt and I went to a driving school and raced cars for a week. It was great fun. Every day was fun. Great fun. Nice memories. Thanks for asking. Anything else come to mind?
I got you.
Of all the characters you played, what's your favorite?
Of all the characters I played, what's my favorite? Definitely Billy Hazard in North and South is one of them. I told someone the other day in an interview that I discovered during the making of this movie, which was like a year, that the strange portrait in my grandparents' stairwell that was always terrifying to me turned out to be a portrait of George Gordon Meade, who was the Union commander at Gettysburg, who was my great-great-grandfather, and I didn't know him. So it wasn't until I was making North and South and in these reenactments of these battles that I came to find I really had a family connection. And not just him, but other family members who had been through that experience. So that ended up really resonating with me. the art and the life cross over. And there was a series I did, the Asimov series, Pro. Just there was something about that material that was just really intriguing. Serious television often is just a story, a mystery. What are the elements? Are you going to solve it? And who did it? But Probe is always this journey. Every episode is an hour journey off into some strange concept. So those two really stood out. And Baywatch, it's hard not to enjoy going to work at the beach every day. You know, be getting up early, going, oh, I'm so tired, and I pull out on the Pacific Coast Highway. The sun's coming up behind me, and the waves are glistening, and stepping out on the beach. You spend your day. That's how I learned to surf. At lunch, everyone would disappear at lunch, and I'd be sitting eating by myself, and I realized they were all surfing. Everybody was surfing, the whole crew, the whole cast. That was a nice show. Anything else? Well, just so you know, we're all having a blast here. We really appreciate how sweet everyone's been and accessible everyone's been. And it's really a nice feeling to have been invited to this. And I have a feeling you'll have probably a lot of years of this show. Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Parker Stevenson. We appreciate it so much for you showing up and taking the time with us. In a few moments, he'll be making his way to his photo opportunity to the left of the stage. Please check in with Miss Marie and Miss, I can't remember the names right now. ADHD is ADHD. Okay. Anyway, here soon we'll be having Mr. Duncan Watson and Patricia Patz coming up here shortly for our Peanuts panel.